Life is full of risks. A business can be ruined by disasters such as fire or flood. Your home can be wrecked by burglars. And carelessness, your own or someone else's, often leads to damage or loss of property. But you can insure against most risks, and insurance is the subject of today's programme. We visit one of Britain's largest insurance companies to learn about insurance for personal needs and for business. This young couple need motor insurance, and they're also thinking about life assurance. We hear about the insurance for a large-scale project like this container port on the East Coast. We look at a proposal form and how to fill it in. Problems with insurance? Troubleshooter is there to help sort things out, and he never takes a risk. Guardian Insurance is part of the Guardian Royal Exchange group of companies, which operates in 50 countries around the world. Sue Rawlings has worked for them for 10 years.
The basic concept of insurance is that the contributions of the many compensate for the misfortunes of the few. Insurance is a pooling of risks. This means that the money paid by each person or company, their premium, goes into a pool. This pool is then invested and used to pay out when a misfortune occurs to a person or company and they feel the need to make a claim. That is, they call on their insurance company to pay out compensation for the loss they've suffered. Your insurance policy is a contract with your insurance company. It's an important document and you should keep it in a safe place. Guardian Insurance provides a very wide range of insurance, or cover as it is known, for personal needs. In Britain, 66% of the population own their own homes, and this means that they need insurance. We offer buildings and contents insurance for homeowners. Buildings insurance provides cover against the risk of fire, flood, storm damage, and a number of other risks to the house or building. It is important to have adequate cover and not be underinsured. For this reason, we make an adjustment every year to the premium levels and cover to act against the effects of inflation. We also provide cover for many other personal insurance needs, such as your boat, your caravan, even your grand piano. It's also possible to insure your pets against illness or against damage or injury they may cause to other people or their property. We can even cover a garden party against the risk of bad weather. You name it, the insurance market can cover it.
Now, let's take a second look at some of that. First, focus on facts. What is the basic concept of insurance, according to Sue Rawlings?
The basic concept of insurance is that the contributions of the many compensate for the misfortunes of the few.
The basic concept of insurance is that the contributions of the many compensate for the misfortunes of the few. Next, some vocabulary. When you take out insurance, you will receive a policy. What kind of a document is this?
Your insurance policy is a contract with your insurance company.
A policy is a contract with your insurance company. And what is the word for the money that you pay for insurance?
The money paid by each person or company, their premium, goes into a pool.
It's the premium. Another word that you will often hear for insurance is cover.
Buildings insurance provides cover against the risk of fire, flood, storm damage, and a number of other risks to the house or building.
Building insurance provides cover against the risk of fire, flood, storm damage, and a number of other risks to the house or building. To make a claim is to call on the insurance company to pay out compensation. Next, language forms. Notice that you insure against a certain risk.
It's also possible to insure your pets against illness.
It's possible to insure your pets against illness.
We can even cover a garden party against the risk of bad weather.
We can even cover a garden party against the risk of bad weather. If you run a business, you must be properly insured. David Ross of the marketing department explains.
Corporate insurance is the insurance we offer to companies of all kinds. Quite often companies will come to us with a variety of insurance needs, and we will offer them a package which is tailor-made to their requirements. Take a pub, for example. They would need insurance for liability, both employers and public, as well as cover for stock and buildings. We can provide business interruption cover. In other words, if your premises are burnt down, the insurance pays for temporary premises in order the business can go on as usual and work is uninterrupted. The second element in a corporate package of insurance is liability. Liability basically means responsibility in a legal and financial sense. So there is employer's liability, which is a legal requirement in the UK. That is to say, you're obliged by law to have it. If an employee is injured through employer's negligence, then the employer is liable. He is legally obliged to pay financial compensation to the injured employee. Then there's public liability. That's liability with respect to the general public. For example, if someone has just washed the floor, if a customer slips and breaks a leg, then you are liable. You are obliged to pay financial compensation and you must pay up. Then there's products liability. If any of your products cause illness or injury to a customer, then as a manufacturer, you are liable and must pay compensation to the injured party.
Let's take a closer look at what David Ross said about insurance for businesses. First, some facts. What kind of cover do you need in case your premises are burnt down?
We can provide business interruption cover. In other words, if your premises are burnt down, the insurance pays for temporary premises in order the business can go on as usual and work is uninterrupted.
You need business interruption cover to pay for temporary premises if your building is burnt down. Next, let's look at some important vocabulary. What is liability?
Liability basically means responsibility in a legal and financial sense.
Liability basically means responsibility in a legal and financial sense. And what are the different kinds of liability?
There is employer's liability, which is a legal requirement in the UK. That is to say, you're obliged by law to have it.
Employer's liability. This is a legal requirement in the UK.
If an employee is injured through employer's negligence, then the employer is liable.
If an employee is injured through the employer's negligence, then the employer is liable. Then there's public liability. Listen to David.
That's liability with respect to the general public.
That's liability with respect to the general public. Listen to the example he gives.
If a customer slips and breaks a leg, then you are liable.
If a customer slips and breaks a leg, then you are liable. Phil Hickley is going to give some advice on insurance matters.
Hi, I'm Phil Hickley from Guardian Insurance. We've got an appointment.
Yes, come in.
Thanks very much. How can I be of assistance?
We've got a number of things to sort out for insurance.
I've got a number of questions to ask too.
OK, fire away.
Well, first it's car insurance. We're taking delivery of a new car on Monday and we'd like to fix up some insurance.
No problem. Have you insured a car before?
I haven't.
I have, but it was a number of years ago and I have no record of the insurance.
So you won't have any no-claims discount that we can use?
Unfortunately not, no.
Do you want fully comprehensive insurance or third-party fire and theft?
What's the difference as far as cost is concerned?
Well, the premiums for third-party fire and theft are likely to be about half of the premium for fully comprehensive. But is it a new car or a second-hand car?
Well, it's a brand new car, so I think we should go for comprehensive insurance.
Yes, I agree. And also, with a new car, if the car is stolen within the first year, or if it's a write-off, then we'll replace it with a brand new car of the same make and the same model.
That's good.
All the details are enclosed in this policy booklet here, which you need to read carefully. Now, what we're going to need to get you to do now is complete a proposal form, which is included in the back of this brochure here. If that's acceptable to us, we'll issue you with a cover note, which you'll get the following day, and then you'll get the policy and the certificate of motor insurance very soon afterwards.
What about the premium? What would that be?
Well, that's going to depend on a number of factors, some of which you can choose to help reduce the premium. For example, if you choose a higher voluntary excess, that's the amount that you pay in the event of a claim, that will help to reduce the premium. And also, if you restrict driving to just the two of you, both of those factors will help to reduce the premium.
That sounds good.
That's good.
Let's take a closer look at some of that. First, the facts. Have either Simon or Louise insured a car before?
I haven't.
I have, but it was a number of years ago and I have no record of the insurance.
Simon hasn't insured a car before. Louise has, but she has no record of the insurance. Why is this important?
So you won't have a no-claims discount that we can use.
So you won't have a no-claims discount that we can use. If you haven't made a claim on your motor insurance, you get a discount. In other words, you pay a lower premium. They must decide what kind of insurance they want for the car.
Do you want fully comprehensive insurance or third-party fire and theft?
Do they want fully comprehensive or third-party fire and theft? All the details are in the policy booklet. Next, they must complete a proposal form. What happens next?
We'll issue with a cover note, which you'll get the following day, and then you'll get the policy and the certificate of motor insurance very soon afterwards.
They will receive a cover note the following day, and the policy and the certificate of motor insurance soon afterwards. Simon would like to know how much the premium will be. That will depend on the choices they make.
For example, if you choose a higher voluntary excess, that's the amount that you pay in the event of a claim, that will help to reduce the premium.
They can choose to pay a higher voluntary excess. That's the amount they pay in the event of a claim.
OK, that's the motor insurance. What else can I help you with?
I would like to ask about life assurance.
Yeah, we see life assurance as a good way of saving and we wonder if you could advise us on the best type for us.
Well, basically, life assurance is something you can pay into on a regular monthly basis. It offers you a guaranteed payment, usually after the end of a fixed term of years.
And how long's the term?
That's entirely for you to decide. It can be 10 years, 15, 20, even 25 years. It really is your decision.
Depending on what we're saving for.
That's exactly right. You can be saving for university education or education for children. You really need to select the term yourselves.
So the longer the term, the larger the guaranteed sum?
That's exactly right.
And if either of us dies before the maturity date?
If it's a joint policy in your two names, if either of you dies, then the sum insured, that's the guaranteed sum insured, plus any bonuses, will be paid to the surviving partner.
Not really something I like to think about too much, but it's a good way of saving.
Exactly, yes.
And does it qualify for tax relief?
No, unfortunately not. However, the maturity payment, that's the final payment you'll receive, is completely free of tax. Let me give you some brochures and perhaps you'll give consideration to them and perhaps we'll talk again in the near future.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for your help.
More facts and a lot of vocabulary. What is life assurance?
Well, basically, life assurance is something you can pay into on a regular monthly basis. It offers you a guaranteed payment, usually after the end of a fixed term of years.
Life assurance offers you a guaranteed payment, usually after the end of a fixed term of years.
How long is the term?
And how long is the term?
That's entirely for you to decide.
That's entirely for you to decide.
And if either of us dies before the maturity date?
And if either of us dies before the maturity date,
the guaranteed sum insured plus any bonuses will be paid to the surviving partner.
the guaranteed sum insured plus any bonuses will be paid to the surviving partner. And what is the situation with regard to tax?
And does it qualify for tax relief?
Does it qualify for tax relief?
No, unfortunately not. However, the maturity payment, that's the final payment you'll receive, is completely free of tax.
Unfortunately not, but the final payment is free of tax. Finally, some wordplay, and a particular kind of language form using comparative adjectives.
The longer the term, the larger the guaranteed sum.
The longer the term, the larger the guaranteed sum. And the opposite of that is, the shorter the term, the smaller the guaranteed sum. "15 miles down the road from the Guardian Insurance Office in Ipswich is one of Britain's busiest ports.
Felixstowe Docks is the largest container port in the United Kingdom. From here, ships sail to the Americas, to the Far East, and all over Europe. And naturally, there's a need for insurance of every kind here at Felixstowe. Many of the processes here are manual, there's heavy lifting gear, and the employees at the docks need to be protected against those risks. That's why the employer will be providing employers' liability insurance, which basically protects them in the event of the employees suffering illness, injury, or whatever, if it's caused as a result of a fault of the employer. Public liability is not a huge factor here because this is a container port here at Felixstowe. There are no passenger ferries that travel from Felixstowe. Having said that, there are members of the public in various capacities that do use the port here. People like Customs and Excise or the police all need from time to time to come into Felixstowe Port, and so they do need to be covered by public liability insurance, and that is what the Port of Felixstowe Authority will provide. Many of the cargoes that are being carried around in Felixstowe contain very high value cigarettes, electrical goods. Individual containers can be worth many, many thousands of pounds, so theft is a particular aspect. And so insurance can be provided for the owners of that cargo and the Port of Felixstowe Authority to cover them against the risk of theft. Vehicle insurance is very wide here in Felixstowe. The sort of vehicles you have on the complex are not the normal sort of private cars. There's lots of plant and machinery to take cargo around the complex, and so there would be particular types of commercial vehicle insurance required here at Felixstowe.
Moving from the docks to the ships that use them, there are basically two types of marine insurance. The insurance of the ship, or the hull as it is called, and the insurance of the cargo that the ship carries.
Hull insurance or ship insurance is required by the ship owner because ships in the main, particularly those ones travelling here at Felixstowe, are worth many millions of pounds, and a loss at sea would be catastrophic for a ship owner. Cargo insurance is about the protection of the items being carried by ships in the containers here at Felixstowe. The cargoes can vary enormously and can have very high values, and so each consignment needs to have the appropriate level of insurance attached to it.
And if there is a shipping accident here at Felixstowe, how would the insurance claims be settled?
Well, claims can be fairly complicated on the marine side. Ships are very large, they can capsize, there can be fairly large oil spillages, machinery can topple over. The process is a fairly complicated one in terms of sorting out the claim and will involve people like loss adjusters, marine surveyors, accountants even, to actually establish the amount of claim to be paid in any circumstance.
To take out insurance of any kind, you must first fill in a proposal form. This one is to insure a pet. Complete each section in block capitals. First, the date from which the cover is required. Next, details about the proposer, the person who wants to take out the insurance. Then, in section 2, for cats and dogs, give details of your pet, its name, breed, and date of birth. Details of any treatment by a vet are required, as well as the name and address of the vet. Some sections are completed with a tick in the box. Let's hope that you don't have to make a claim on your pet insurance.
Oh, good morning. I'd like you to watch the sign and then the windows, not the other way round because of smears. Is that understood?
The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, show the promise of merry sunshine. Ah-dee-dee-dee-dee, tra-la-la-la.
Sit.
I'm here today to advise about insurance. Of course, I am particularly careful about my own insurance. Better safe than sorry, as they say. I have the usual motor insurance, and as Molly is also my office, all my equipment is covered as well. I have public liability insurance too, but of course, as I am a professional, I don't have accidents. Touch wood. That's one of our little sayings. Touch wood. An accident, eh?
Don't you dare touch it. Was that your dog? It's a menace to society, and there are little children running around here. It's dangerous, you know.
But this is outrageous! Vandalism! My plants are ruined! My greenhouse is beyond repair! I demand compensation!
Compensation? It wasn't my fault. It was an accident.
Oh, but
Well, in my experience, wherever there is an accident, there will be insurance claims.
My lambkin, I must go to sleep.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. The question of compensation depends upon whose fault it is. We must establish liability.
Yeah, it was a complete accident. The dog tripped me up.
Well, the dog owner is liable then. Madam, is this your dog?
Of course it's my dog, my little lambkin pet.
A wild and uncontrollable beast. I hope, madam, that you have the necessary pet insurance to compensate for the damage to this lady's plants and greenhouse.
And me for my cuts and bruises.
It's a pack of lies. He was responsible. It was his fault. He is a total incompetent. He can't clean windows. He can't even stand on a stepladder. He must pay.
I understand. Liability lies with this young man. Let us hope that he has public liability insurance cover and that his premiums are fully paid up to date.
Look here, I won't stand for this. These boxes there are an accident waiting to happen. And who put them there? The manager. He owns the premises, so he should be held responsible.
Yes, I see. This pile of boxes is indeed a part of the chain of cause and effect which led to this unfortunate situation.
No. You've got it all wrong. Hold on a sec. The blame lies with you.
My dear sir, you may wish to avoid responsibility, but you will have to face it in the end.
Oh, no. You're the one who must face up to your responsibilities. Nonsense! Because I have it in black and white on my security camera. And I would like to extend to you a special invitation to the premiere. So, you nudged the pallet, which struck the wood, which hit the boxes, which unbalanced the window cleaner, who soaks the dog and trips up the customer who broke the lady's greenhouse with his drain pipe.
Oh, dear.
So, it's you must pay compensation.
To me for my greenhouse and plants.
And to me for my cuts and bruises.
And to me for the shock caused to my poor lambkin pet.
And to me for a new stepladder and a bucket.
And to me for a new set of boxes.
But this is terrible. A disaster. I shall go bankrupt.
Pay up!
Yeah,
Pay up to pay! Pay up!
But this is dreadful. I shall go bankrupt. It's at the end of Troubleshooter. No, it's not. No, it's not. I have forgotten my own insurance. Ladies and gentlemen, please send in your claim forms and accident report forms. Claims will be paid promptly and in full. That is the insurance business for you. So, goodbye. Off you go home.
So much. Charming man.
Close one, I think. Thank goodness for insurance, eh? But did I pay the premium?
That's all for today on the subject of insurance. As usual, you can follow up what you have seen with Work in Your Student's Book, where you will find plenty of useful material.